Hey, how's it going? I am talking about the best shoes for shin splints today. So stick around, I'll give some tips and advice on where to get those shoes, what kinds of things to look for, and what things to look out for. Okay, so I'd say one of the top questions I get from people, from clients, from people in the DMs is, what are the best shoes for X problem? So today I'm talking shin splints. So irritation, inflammation of the front of the shin, that's shin splints, caused by an overuse injury from doing too much too soon. So that's a little background on shin splints. So most people will tell you, well, if you have shin splints, it's caused by your shoes. But go back, I just told you it's caused by overuse. So it's not caused by shoes. So take this into consideration. If you're looking for the best, the only, the whatever shoes for shin splints, they don't exist. I am so sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the best, the only pair of shoes for shin splints does not exist. That same thing goes for other injuries. The best, the only pair of shoes for those types of injuries, they just don't exist. And the reason for that is because 80% of running injuries are caused by overtraining. So if it's caused by overtraining, changing the shoe and not changing the training doesn't get you anywhere. But please don't misinterpret that as me saying that shoes aren't important. Shoes are very, very important. You need good shoes to keep running. However, they're not the end all be all. A couple of months ago, I live in Vegas. A couple of months ago, I saw somebody running on the street. It must have been more than a couple months ago because it must have been spring, not summer. Anyway, I saw somebody running on the street barefoot. And they weren't just like, chasing after a ball that went down the street. This was a grown adult going for a run barefoot. So if shoes were the end all be all, you wouldn't see people running barefoot. If they were the end all be all, you would see every successful runner running in the same pair of shoes. Not necessarily the same brand, but the same kind of shoe. But you see it all the time. You see 10 millimeter heel drop, 12 millimeter heel drop, 8 millimeter heel drop, zero drop. All of these different types of the Vibrams where they're the toe shoes and things like that. If it was an end all be all, you had to do one right kind of shoe for the injury, you would see people just wearing the one type of shoe. So what to do instead is definitely be on the lookout for shoes that work for you, but don't worry if they're advertised as for shin splints. I just did a quick Google search the other day. What type of heel drop for shin splints? And I saw, does zero drop shoe work for shin splints? And one website said, yes, absolutely, they do. You need zero drop to heal your shin splints. And I saw another website in the same web search that said, never do zero drop for shin splints because that doesn't work. So you're gonna find all sorts of answers. So what to look for instead is look at your training. Don't train too far too fast. I go through with my clients, I look at the past 4 to 6 weeks of their training plan and see what happened. And you also need to look at, like, what are you doing for stretching? What's your post-run recovery? What kind of strength exercises are you doing? And spoiler alert, if they're specific to the injury and only doing exercises for the front of the shin muscles or foot muscles for shin splints, not for you. That's not the right kind. So these are what you look for shoes. But if you are in the market for new shoes, you have shin splints, and you need new shoes anyway, not just to heal your shin splints, I recommend getting a gait analysis. Most local running stores will do a gait analysis where you run on the treadmill, they watch you, and they make a recommendation based on that. Buyer beware of who you're getting those results from. And it's a best guess. They're still not 100% making the recommendation, guaranteed. You still have to make sure that you try them on. They still might not be a good shoe for you. Another thing you could do if you don't trust your local running store, don't have one that you can go to one of the running store websites. They usually have shoe finders. I really like Brooks running shoes, and they have a shoe finder questionnaire. It's great because they ask about what surfaces you run on, how much you run, and if you have any aches and pains. So they take that into consideration. You'll also want to take into consideration how you're running, that if you overstride, then that might be adding more pressure. You know, I don't really believe there's an all one type of way to run. Heel runner, toe runner, mid stance runner, mid-foot runner. I think they can all work. I used to be a heel runner, and what I noticed, and I never had any aches and pains, but what I noticed was that I was like practically doing like a doorstop. If my foot is out in front, the ground reacts to the same amount of pressure that my foot puts down in the equal and opposite direction. So if my foot is out angled in front, all of the motion is going to go directly into my body like it's stopping me. If I keep my feet under me the whole time, then the direction is going to go straight up and I can keep moving forward. So take that into consideration, because you might be not necessarily injuring yourself by running that way, but you're definitely not running the most efficiently. And so if you're not running the most efficiently, you're going to get more tired more easily and use up more of your energy that could be used toward running. So maybe if you're going for a 3-mile run that should feel fine, it might take more effort and be more likely to bug you. So anyway, that is the long and short of the right shoes for shin splints. There's no right shoe. I hate to break it to you. And if you are in the market for new shoes, either get a gait analysis or do a shoe finder on one of the websites. I really like Brooks Running. They do it. Asics also does it. I don't like their shoe finder questionnaire quite as much, but you can still get some good results from that. Okay?